Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Design with Rusbe. Continuing with CSWP Practice Problems, today we'll work on question 11.7. Let's take a look at this question. So in this question, unit of measurement is millimeter gram second. Like always, we need to ensure we are using the same unit of measurement in SolidWorks setting. Now, looking at this geometry, you can see multiple views. You have the 3D model, detail C, top view, front view, view BB, view AA, and the right view. My preference is to focus on the right view. I'm going to make a 2D sketch of the right view, but only this part of the geometry, not these two features. And then I will extrude that to make a 3D model. Then after that, I will focus on making a plane with 150-degree angle here, and then I will make this part of the geometry, this feature. And then after that, I will focus on making this feature by making a plane with 165-degree angle. And then at last, I will add the hole to this geometry. So with this introduction, let's jump into SolidWorks and start modeling this part. In SolidWorks, first we need to check unit of measurement, and you can see that we have millimeter gram second, which is a correct unit of measurement. Now click on the sketch and click on right plane. Now here, all I need is a rough 2D sketch. Click on line command and let's make a sketch. Start from the origin of the geometry, go up, go to right, up, right, going down, going to left. Just a rough sketch. We don't need to be super accurate. Okay, so that's the initial sketch. Now it's time to add some dimensions and relations and make sure that this geometry is fully defined. First of all, looking at the geometry, we can see that these two lines should be in line. So I click on both of them and I choose collinear. The height of this section should be 25 millimeter. Distance from this point to this point should be 100 millimeter. Distance from this point to this point should be 60 millimeter. The overall length of the geometry is 200 millimeter. Depth of this part is 10 millimeter. Height of this right section should be 40 millimeter. And then this distance should be 50 millimeter. This should be 37. This is 25 millimeter. And this one should be 38. And now you can see that the geometry is fully defined. Looking at the front view, you can see that the depth of the geometry is 100 millimeters. So what I can do, I can click on feature, extrude bus, and then here for the depth, I'm gonna have 100 millimeter. Click on OK, and that's it. That's the first part of the geometry. Now let's focus on making the feature on this part of the geometry. If you look at detail C, you can see that we need to have 150-degree angle. The best way to model this part of the geometry is to add a plane. So click on feature, click on reference geometry, and click on plane. Now here, if you remember, we want to add a plane on angle. To do that, you need a reference plane or surface and axis of rotation. And now you can see the preview. Now for axis of rotation, I'm going to select this line. And now you can see by default SolidWorks is making a plane perpendicular to the surface, but we need to have an angle. So instead of having this relation, you can see that it's perpendicular. Click on angle. And for the angle, choose 150 degree. So now you can see I have this plane made. Of course, because I want to make a sketch on this part of the geometry and I want to look at it from top, I click on flip normal just so I can look at this plane from top direction. Click on OK, and that's it. So that's a reference plane. Now we are ready to make a sketch. So click on the sketch, and this plane is shown here. For this sketch, click on line command and let's start from this corner. We go straight up. Then move your cursor out, move it back to the point. Now I have a curve like this. Going back to starting point and here. That's it. Now, looking at view AA, you can see that the distance between this bottom line and center point of this circle should be 50 millimeter. Also, looking at the top view, you can see that the distance between this line and edge of the geometry should be 30 millimeter. And now by adding all these dimensions, now we have a fully defined geometry. Okay, so now it's time to extrude this geometry. So as you can see, we have this sketch on the plane, so we can click on Feature, click on Extrude Bus, and for the extrusion, from this drop-down menu, I'm going to choose up to body. And then here I simply select this body. And now you can see the extrusion starts from the plane and going all the way to the body of the geometry. Click on OK, and that's it. Now let's make other features on the surface of this geometry. Click on a sketch, and select this surface. So here, first let's make a center line because I want to cut this geometry and I need it to be symmetric. And we also have this center line. Now here, what I can do, I can use rectangle command. Let's make a rectangle here. First of all, I want it to be symmetric. So I click on this line, hold Control, Symmetry line, this line, and I choose Symmetric. The width of this rectangle should be 10 millimeters. So this is 10. Also, let's make this line tangent to this surface. Okay, so now we have a fully defined geometry and it's good for cutting the part. Next, let's make another rectangle. From here, we go to here. Same thing, click on the line, hold Control, and then apply symmetric geometry. And the width should be 10 millimeter. Okay, so now we have these two. We also need a circular cutout with a diameter of 25 millimeters. So I click on this circle, I click on this center point, and I make a circle. And the diameter should be 25 millimeter. I want to do all these cutouts at the same time. So as you can see, we have the sketch for the cutout, and according to detail C, the depth of the cutout should be 5 millimeters. So I click on Feature, I click on Extrude Cut, I change this number to 5, and now because we have multiple contours, I'm going to select this one, this one, this one, this one, and everything inside the circle basically. Okay, now click on OK, and that's the cutout we need. Awesome, so now this feature is made. Okay, next let's focus on a feature that we have on this part of the geometry. It's basically the same process. We need to make a plane and make that feature. Now, according to the front view, we need a plane with 165-degree angle with respect to horizontal line. So what I can do from Feature, I click on Reference Geometry, I select Plane, I select this surface, and I select this line as axis of rotation. And now you can see the plane. Click on Angle and change it to 165. And now you can see the plane. Change the normal arrow. Click on OK, and that's it. So that's a plane. Now we need to make a sketch on it. Click on a sketch, and let's select this plane. It's automatically actually selected. Now, what I need is a simple geometry. Same things. So I can click on Line command. I start from this line. I go up, move your cursor out, move it back to this point, and now you have this curve shape going back to here and going back to starting point. According to View BB, the distance between this line and right side of the geometry should be 15 millimeter. The diameter of this circle is 20 millimeter. And the distance between this line and center point of the geometry should be 40 millimeter. And now, as you can see, we have a geometry which is fully defined. Now, we need to extrude this geometry. So, as you can see, we have this sketch, and all we need to do is to extrude this geometry. However, there's a subtle point here that I want to mention. The extrusion that we are doing here is slightly different. Let's go back to the question, and I want to show you something. In the question, on the front view, as you can see, the extrusion is happening vertically. So normally, if we do the extrusion on this plane, the extrusion should be perpendicular to the plane. However, if you look at this line, you can see that this geometry was extruded on a vertical axis, like it's just going straight down. So that's the only thing that we need to be careful about. Okay, so let's go back to SolidWorks and see how we can make this extrusion. So here in SolidWorks, the extrusion command is always the same. Click on feature and click on extruded bus. And of course, here you can see that the sketch is selected. Up to body is okay. We need to select this body. But as I mentioned, if you look at this view, the extrusion is happening in a direction which is perpendicular to the plane. But we don't want this. So now the question is how to force SolidWorks to extrude this part of the geometry on a vertical line. The answer is basically this box. If you look at this box, if I hover my mouse to here, you can see that it says direction of extrusion. So basically you can define the direction of the extrusion. And then here I can simply click on a box, and for the extrusion, I can select this line. This line is basically a vertical line. If I click on it, now you can see that extrusion is going all the way in this direction, not perpendicular to the plane. And that's exactly what we want. So I hope this is clear. Click on OK, and that's the geometry that we want. Awesome. So now we want to focus on the last step, which is basically making two holes. First, let's start with this one, which is a simple hole. Click on a sketch, and select this surface. Now here, click on circle command, and let's make a circle. The diameter of the circle is 14 millimeters. So click here and go with 14 millimeters. Of course, the geometry is not fully defined because I can move it to here. So what I can do, I can click on circle, click on this circle, and from the options here, I choose concentric. And now I have a fully defined sketch. So click on feature, click on extrude cut, and then change this setting to through all. Now here is the question. You can ask why we are just going perpendicular to the surface. How do we know that same as extrusion that we have here, we shouldn't be going all the way on a vertical axis? The answer is shown on a top view. Let's go back to the question, and I want to show you the top view. On the top view, you can see that you can partially see the hole. If the hole was kind of vertical, you should have been able to see the full circle for the hole. But on the top view, you're not seeing a full hole. You're just seeing portion of that hole, which means that the hole should be perpendicular to the surface. So I hope this is clear. Let's go back to SolidWorks again. So here in SolidWorks, all we need to do is to go all the way to the back surface. So click on OK, and that's it. So that's the hole that we need on this part of the geometry. Last step is to make a counter bore hole here. So let's click on a sketch, and let's select this surface. Like always, I prefer to use a point to define the location of the hole. So I click here. So here, click on hole wizard command. And now all we need to do is to look at the settings for the hole wizard. Counter bore is selected. Unit of measurement metric is good. Type of hole, it's good for hex bolt. And for the size, we go with M8. So I think everything is good here. And regarding the other options like countersink on the top surface, on a bottom surface, we don't have enough information. So for now, I keep them unchecked. Okay, now click on position, click on this surface, and put the hole right on this point. Click on OK, and that's it. So that's the final step in making this geometry. Now it's time to check the volume and make sure that this model is correct. So let's go back to the question and check the volume in a question. In the question, you can see the volume here. The total volume for this geometry is 747,166.2 cubic millimeters. Let's go back to SolidWorks and check the volume for our model. In SolidWorks, in order to check the volume, you can click on Evaluate and then Mass Properties. And here you can see the total volume. The total volume that we found for this model is 746,947.1 cubic millimeters. Of course, this number is not same as the number that's shown in a question. So I'm kind of curious why we're not able to find a correct answer. So because this geometry is kind of complex, I prefer to make a drawing from this model. I'm not going to make drawing in this video because I don't want to waste time here, but I already made a drawing from this model. So let's focus on a drawing, and I want to show you every single dimensions that we have for this model. So let me quickly show you this drawing that I made. So basically, from the model I made a drawing, and I thought if I made a mistake somewhere in this modeling, then by comparing every single dimensions on the drawing with the drawing in a question, I should be able to find a root cause. So now let's just start from the top view. On the top view, as you can see, this dimension is 30, so we are good. Looking at detail C, as you can see, this dimension is 15, 40, 20 millimeter radius here, and 14 millimeter hole. This is good. Looking at view AA, you can see that the width of these cutouts, 10 millimeter, that should be good. This distance 50 is okay. And the diameter of the hole is 25 millimeter, which is correct. Let's focus on the front view. We have 165-degree angle. The width is 100 millimeter, so we are good. And finally, the right view. On the right view, we have all these dimensions. You can check them. They're all exactly same as the drawing that we have in a question. Also, for the depths of this cutout, we have 5 millimeter, which is correct. So here, after checking every single dimensions that I have in this model, I wasn't able to find the root cause of this discrepancy. And that's why I believe our model is correct. And I don't think we made any mistakes in making this model. But by any chance, if you think that I made a mistake in making this model, please leave comments down below. I would love to hear your feedback, and I would love to know how you approach modeling this part. But looking at the geometry so far and looking at the final drawing I made, unfortunately I can't find the root cause of the issue. So that's why I'm kind of coming to this conclusion that our model is correct, and this could be simply a mistake on the problem set final answer. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comment, or if you have any feedback about the approach that we had for this model, about the discrepancy between the answers, please leave comments down below. Thanks again for watching. My name is Rusbe. Hope to see you again soon in the next videos.